this project for many reasons. And I go around and I just kind of pat it, kind of straighten it up, kind of, like get the little stack going here. Moving it off of my other lines if it's moved over some. I'll even go down in here and pat it to blend with that, what was supposed to be yellow, but it's really green. Just kind of flatten it, because what I'm hoping is going to happen, which I've never heard of anyone doing yet, but my idea is that once I lay down, once I finish all the way up to the top, there's two pieces that I did in pink. You see how thick those are. Once I go all the way up to the top, then it all dries again for a long time. And then I put just another single layer of the Mod Podge over it, like just a slather, like it should be very dry by then. And I let that dry. This one side just is not keeping the glue and keeps putting glue on my brush. Get in line, ladies and gentlemen, or you're coming off. Okay, sorry. So once once all of it's done and it dries, then I put a good layer of Mod Podge on top of all of it together. Okay. Now, they don't mention any of this in the tutorials, so I'm going to be winging it. I think that I could take a very, very fine, or maybe not fine, I need to look into what the differences are, of sandpaper. And I think I could probably sand this and get a better blend of the colors. If I could get like the roughness of it off, kind of. And after doing all this, they're all the lines are pretty seamless. I mean, they're all together, but you can still tell where one color ends and another begins. But we'll be patting it down into each other. I'm hoping that I'll be able to take some sandpaper, and not very hard, like very, very, very gently. I don't even have any glue there, and I'm tapping. Sand it. Mainly because I think that'll give me a more cohesive look. I know that in the end, when I apply my resin, that it's going to flatten these surfaces. It's not going to like be bumpy and lumpy. But as I look at it now, I feel like I want it to blend more. So, anyways, that's my idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? This video is mainly for my friend Heather and my mom, so you can see the progress that I've made. And yes, I have been doing this a lot today. And no, I haven't really put on any new colors. I haven't gone any higher than this. Because once I figured out the syringe thing, then I had to go back and do it all over again. And when I get the glitter out, my little Miss Ashlyn loves to play in Mommy's glitter and my brushes, in which I let her, just to buy myself time. But gets a little crazy. So I turn it when I rotate it and the extra falls off. But another thing to do is make sure that you're tapping it to get some of that excess off that maybe is not just falling off by doing this. Like a good tap is going to get it all off. I keep running my brush like on the edge here if I get glue on it. I got a lot of glue on it, so I have a baby wipe and I wipe it off. doesn't really matter about color so much because I want them to blend. But it does matter if the glue keeps coming up and I keep putting the glue down and it keeps coming up and it's never ending. So another thing that unfortunately I learned, or realized I should say earlier, was that I was really placing the glitter and glue all over even my vinyl, which was fine because in my head I'm like, I'm gonna grab the vinyl, I'm gonna peel it up. But as I started to kind of scrape at some pieces to see what the glitter was going to be, was it going to flake back off or was it going to chunk off? There's some pieces that chunk off. So before I started fixing the other pieces, as in taking a syringe and making them thick and filling them in, I decided to take the end of a toothpick, really anything sharp, but at the time I just grabbed a toothpick, and scratched at the surface of it, trying to get my vinyl to show up. Because I'm not so much worried about, honestly, I'm not so much worried about it not coming up. Well, after all the glue and stuff, I will be worried about it not coming up. And I don't even know where my little toothpick went, but I could use it about now. What really concerned me was the fact that it might bring up the glitter in chunks. I can deal with some things because all I'm going to do is what lines are open get filled with glue and get covered with black to fill in the tree. But I really don't want it to be completely covered because, well, one, I don't want the vinyl to stick. I don't want it to break off when I start peeling it off. So I have to be careful and know where my vinyl is to make sure that I'm actually pulling it up. And two, I want to make sure that it is sort of not completely covered because I don't want it to rip the glitter off the work that I've already done. So I would have been very mad if I had discovered that as I was beginning to peel it off. But I started getting worried about it when I started kind of messing with it, see how it dried and stuff. So I started getting worried about it, and decided that I was going to chisel my vinyl out so that I could see where my tree is, and where I know that vinyl is and where those limbs have to come up, and you know, if I miss one or two, it's okay. I can fudge that. I can put the glitter in there or whatever I want to do. But frankly, I like having a tool that's like go by. And this is exactly why. Because this is a hot mess. It's a mess. It is a mess. I mean, there's glitter everywhere. And every time I get up to stop, like to cook dinner or homework, I have to get up and I clean it up before I get up. For obvious reasons. Because it's already so messy. And yes, it takes a lot of glitter. I am using this pink. It was full. It is now not full. So I did remember other people saying that it took so much glitter, but really, like, it takes like so much for real. Like, so, alert, alert. Find some clearances or half-offs. Start stocking up on glitter if you intend on doing anything like this. I'm not sure I would encourage it, but if you're like me and you have your mind set on something and you want to do it, and you're determined to do it, then by gosh, you'll try it. And I'm just going to give you whatever advice I can from me doing it, so that you can at least learn from my sad mistakes. Okay. So I think I'm pretty happy. Sometimes I go down here and I scoop some of this up and I lay it on the spot that I see some glue. It's late, I gotta get to bed. But here I am, glitter mugging it up. Dinner time! Okay, no. And that spot right there too keeps getting me. Alright. So I don't know how the glue is going to do in my syringe. I don't know if it's going to be fine in the morning or if it's going to like dry up in the tube. Or I should say tube. I shouldn't say, like, not this part of the tube, but this. It's not a hypodermic needle. It's literally for crafting. It's just, you know, precision Mod Podge applicator is what I made there. So yep, I just wanted to keep you guys updated, show you where I am so far. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to this part because of all those little tree branches. But if I guess as I go, and the more I touch the top of it, the more my little lines go away that I drew. But at this point, I'm almost at the freehand. Because I got the hardest parts done that mattered if it was really all the different colors in there. Now I just have purples and blues left, which will be nice to not see pink for a while because I've seen quite enough of pink. I just hope that with my little syringe buddy here, that it makes it easier for me to get in between these branches. Honestly, the best thing to do, if I cared to take the time, would be to put the glitter on after applying it with my little craft needle. I'm sorry, putting the glue on, and then putting the glitter on, and then letting it sit for like 30 minutes. Not enough to dry, but enough to make it less. You want it to be more viscous, thicker, I guess I should say. Less, not quite as movable, but still enough where you could kind of shift it. Because right now it's so super, it's still so wet that it's no good. Like if I carve through it right now, it's going to be like parting the Red Sea. Everything wants to move with it. So that's why I waited till it was kind of dry to chisel the glitter out from it. Because otherwise, you get like weird, you'll get like these lines. See if you can see them. There's you can see the line where the glitter is coming up. And you can clearly see that these branches are buried in that glitter. And that's okay, but if you try to, I've noticed, if you try to carve out some of those places while it's wet, I mean, sometimes it's okay, but other times it carves out way too much, and I'd rather not do that. Then again, if it does carve out too much in some places, I also don't have to worry too much because I'm just going to take black and fill in all those spots. And it doesn't have to be exactly where the branches are because it's just going to go wherever there's room. So, anyways, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm just patting glitter onto my cup here. And yes, you can fast forward. It will not hurt my feelings at all. And I'm sure I'll sound funny, and that would be, wish I could share that with you. So anyways, I've got to go to bed. Got to pick out my children's clothes and go to bed.